Afternoon, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earth Watch on Saturday, May 18, 2024. Hope you're all well. A little bit of a lesson here. So I'm going to give you some facts, and I'm going to, I have a theory. I believe my theory works out pretty good. So the facts, the density of our magnetic field lines is just called that as the magnetic field line strength. So if you were to look at the what we no longer have, the last one was done in 2019, the World Magnetic Model Field Intensity Map, it'll show you that the tighter together the magnetic field lines, the stronger the strength over that area. The wider apart the magnetic field lines, the weaker the strength over that area. Before I continue any further, this is why, for example, over Canada, northern Canada and Northwest Territories, the magnetic field lines back then, 5 years ago, were very wide apart. This allows increased levels of cosmic radiation and breaking down the ozone, thus allowing more ultraviolet radiation coming in, causing droughts. Let's continue. The magnetic field becomes weaker at the increasing distance between the two poles. So imagine a bar magnet. The magnetic field is stronger at the poles, but at the middle of that magnet, or halfway between the poles, the magnetic force is much weaker. So what we're having happening right now is the two geomagnetic poles are migrating towards each other. So this is my daughter's butchered globe. So I showed you this maybe a day ago. My white flags is where the magnetic poles used to be. Last stable position, Nunavut, Canada, 1903. Magnetic south, more or less in the middle of the Antarctica. However, they started their excursion working towards each other. Magnetic north, right now, is approximately there off the coast of Siberia, Russia. Magnetic south has already left continental Antarctica and is between Antarctica and Australia. They are working towards each other. Thus, the distance on the other side of the planet becomes greater. The greater the distance, the weaker the magnetic field over that area. So right now, this doesn't matter. We're not going to be here by then. So right now, this is the track, magnetic north. This is the track of magnetic south. The meeting point is approximately expected to be off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, between there and the Bay of Bengal. It doesn't matter. What matters is they've already left their more or less stable position, and that has destabilized our protective magnetic field and weakened it substantially. So remember, the further apart migrating poles, the weaker the magnetic field becomes. What is there right now? Do you recognize what's happening there right now? So this would include actually United States, northern part of the United States, Caribbean, South America. So right now my theory is the weakest point of our magnetic field is Caribbean, Mexico, Peru, up into southern United States. This is where you're having your bad weather. Southern United States. This is where, when we do have CME impacts on that part of the planet, more of the highly charged particles are getting through those weaker magnetic field lines. And such have I have already demonstrated many seismic responses, earthquake swarms, northern Mexico, Southern California, Baja, off the coast of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, off the coast of Panama, swarms, Peru increased, Caribbean Sea swarm earthquakes where they don't have, in Puerto Rico, an increase in seismic activity. And the weather events, because our magnetic field is weaker over that point. So once again, this is where geomagnetic north is right now. More or less, for all we know, it can already be in Russia. For all we know, magnetic south could be farther away, increasing the distance between the two. Remember, the greater the distance between your magnet in the middle is your weaker field strength. Inside my red circle, more or less. This is another reason why we really need to pay attention to that section of our planet for older overall field strength or lack thereof, impacting space weather events, and so on, resulting in increased seismic events, volcanic eruptions, and weather. I posted that video from Geology Hub, that volcano in Lake Nicaragua. I've been pointing that out quite a few times. That's been on my watch list for quite some time. And I've showed you the heat. Then it popped off. Anyway, a little bit of lesson for you. I don't think anybody else is pointing this out. That's it for now.